This episode of Horror Movie Talk is brought to you by Horror Movie Talk stickers. We have stickers of American Psycho, The Shining, Color Out of Space, starring that one guy, Nick Cage, and the baddest ass Exorcist stickers you've literally ever seen in your whole fucking life. All stickers were crafted with care by the hardest fucking artist on earth, the man with the Teflon dick himself, Dustin Goebel. Support Horror Movie Talk and Dustin by buying our stickers. Go to horrormovietalk.com/shop and buy everything you see. All orders come with a personalized love letter from David himself.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk.
An opinionated and accidentally funny horror movie review show. Go, 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 go.
I just had to stroll through the scraggly woods. He had no face! Horror!
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.
New theatrical releases always get priority.
But we also review older horror movies, both good and horrible.
Wow, that didn't sound good.
I have to return some videotapes.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk. I am your host, David Deo, the ghostest with the mostest. Or the hostest with the mostest. Ghostest?
Hostess?
Hostess?
It's not a word.
Oh, hostess is a word.
Yes.
Welcome to Horror Movie Talk. Before we get into the show, which is going to be a great one for you today.
And I'm Bryce Hanson.
That other guy over there. He's reading the thing. Before we get into our show, you guys should check us out at our website, horrormovietalk.com. From there, you'll find links to all of our social media. We post new episodes every single Wednesday, so make sure to subscribe and leave a rating for us on Apple Podcast. That's a big one for us. And it's really easy to do. You just go in there, you click the star, and then you're done. That's all you have to do. It's not much to ask for. We've got a great show for you today. Today we will be talking about the 2020 new movie. Very rare these days. Very, very rare. New movie, Host.
Well, there's a lot of new movies streaming. You just don't know about them because it's like throwing a piece of hay into a haystack.
Yeah, it's kind of, you just don't hear about it because the theaters is really kind of a punctuation. It's like, oh, this is a thing. It's an event. Now
even shitty movies, it feels legitimate
right
once if it's in the theater.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, this is a Shudder exclusive movie. I think Shudder made it themselves. So you got to, if you want to watch it, you can use our promo code HMT at checkout when you go to shudder.com. That's SHUDDER.com. And that'll get you a 30-day free trial that you can use to watch Host and, a whole bunch of other movies on there, like, all the other ones on there. We will start out the show by giving a brief review and our score for the movie. We score on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 5 being totally average, and 10 being so good that it transcends genre boundaries. After we give our score, we'll get into spoilers and take a deeper dive into what we liked and hated about the film. And later, we will be doing a little bit called Horror Movie Talk Whores. Whores. Which Bryce is not happy about.
I don't like that you unilaterally labeled our fans whores.
Well, what do you think I'm saying?
You wanted to come up with like a thing.
What do you think I'm saying? Whore. It's just, I mean, it's hard to, you kind of get mealy mouthed in there. I could see how you might think I was saying one thing, but
Horror!
I'll just call them horrors. Horrors.
Sure.
That is a bit where we go over voicemails that our fans or listeners have left us. And we have a bunch of voicemails from Bugsy Siegel and a couple from Jason. And just a plethora of totally depraved HMT fans farting into their phones, mostly. So it's... I didn't realize this is what it would turn into so quick. It devolved so quickly. It didn't have a chance to be serious at all.
Right.
But there are some very nice things that people said, and so we'll get into that after we review Host. So we watched Host on Shudder because everyone has been talking about it, and we found out that you can. Well, I found out that you can make a pretty effective movie that impresses everyone as long as theaters are closed and there's a global pandemic. Host doesn't do anything new, but it does. It doesn't waste your time, and it delivers fairly well compared to many found footage movies. So with that, let's get into the trailer.
Hey! Hi, guys.
Hey, guys!
Tina!
Caroline! Hi, Teddy!
Let's do a shot after us.
Hey, everyone, get in. 3, 2, 1. Have you ever done anything like this before?
I've never done this over Zoom. Obviously, we're not physically together, but there's no reason why Spirit can't communicate over the internet.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Visualize us sitting in a circle. Spirit, we invite you to use us to pass on any communication. Is there anyone there? Please come forward.
What was that? Amy, was that you?
I heard it. I heard something.
I think there's something here. Do you see that? Oh,
Emma,
no.
that's funny.
There's something. You know, we've connected with something. We gotta keep going. We gotta talk to it.
This is not good. I told you not to disrespect the spirits. It could be something platonic.
Hey, this is all your fault! Not my fault! This is your fault!
Emma, turn the filters off. Come on.
You can't disrespect the spirits. Bryce. Mm-hmm. Bryce, don't disrespect the spirits.
I don't think there's enough Irish people represented in horror movies.
Is she Irish?
Pretty sure.
I don't know. I don't.
You must not have great ear for accents.
I don't hear color.
Okay.
So it's very hard for me to tell what's going on.
There's not enough gingers in horror.
So a brief synopsis of Host is there's like 6, maybe 7 friends. It was 6. Decide to cure their Corona-19 blues by hiring a medium to hold a seance over a Zoom conference call. Kind of unique. But definitely, you know, if you've been working remotely, this is a screen you've looked at a decent amount by now.
Right.
One of the friends doesn't take the whole thing seriously and decides to make a joke at the expense of the seance, and this angers the spirits, who are also probably pretty bored of being on lockdown. The friends get more evil spirits than they bargained for. Okay. Boy, that is really getting fucked out.
Yeah.
Very heavily. Host brings literally nothing new to the table at all. Everything I saw during my watching of this movie was stolen whole cloth from another found footage movie of varying title. You name it, it's a found footage movie. This took something good from that movie. The most obvious borrowing of this movie's is from this movie's. Okay, let me start that sentence over again. The most obvious borrowing is the movie's format from titles like Unfriended. So it's got that computer screen. You're looking at a computer screen basically through the whole movie format. Mm-hmm. But I caught stuff from the Paranormal Activity series, Blair Witch, and like I said, a lot of other found footage movies. That doesn't make Host bad. It just makes it pretty common, or just nothing came out at me. Nothing jumped out at me. The thing that I really appreciated from this movie was it was less than an hour length, which is, man, if you're going to make a movie that's just kind of middle of the road, make it short. Make it short.
Well, it was part of the format, too, because it was
you got to buy more time.
It was a free Zoom meeting, which can only last 40 minutes.
Oh, this taps into something Bryce loves. It's going to give him a big old boner. There's reasons for things.
I mean, it's like it makes it feel real. That it's like you got the countdown timer.
Of course, you love it because
no one's gonna pay for Zoom if it's not for work. It's great.
I love that. That's why you like this.
I mean,
movie.
that's it's not the reason why I like the movie, but
no, I know
it's one of those things where they made a choice to make it short. I mean, it doesn't even qualify for as a feature-length film.
Yeah, it's like 54 or 56 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. And so... but the reasoning for why it's so short is great.
Yeah.
It fits the found footage format that they chose for it.
Yeah, no argument. Right. No argument from me. It is a good... if you're going to do it that way... And you have a reason for it that, like, winks at the audience of, like, I'm not buying fucking time on Zoom. What are you, fucking nuts? Yeah, okay. So that's...
Shudder's like, money doesn't grow on trees.
Wait, we got...
It was probably literally, they just... Shudder opened a Zoom account. Yeah. Like, this, we got to make this move, people.
Use that HMT code on Zoom at checkout to receive an hour... long conference call.
You know, that would have made this like even more impressive. What if you made this movie in real time?
Oh, well, you know.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What if they literally made it in 40 minutes and it was like just literally a recorded Zoom call?
Is this cartoon live? No, that would be a tremendous strain on the illustrator's wrists.
On the animators.
Animators' wrists. Yeah, nothing about this movie will stick with me for very long, mostly because I didn't feel empathy for any of the characters. With these computer screen found footage formats, the characters, in my opinion, need to be really strong in order for them to kind of break through to the audience and build empathy. Instead, what you have with Host is a bunch of Friday the 13th camp counselors who you barely know and don't really care about very much, and they just kind of get picked off one by one. And you go, oh yeah, she's going to die now, and then she dies, and then then that goes on. The scares work to a middling extent, although I've heard many people say that it was incredibly scary for them. So I guess to each their own. It just didn't strike me that much. I wasn't upset with the movie in any way. I will say that I heard a lot of positive reviews and opinions of this movie before watching it, and it just didn't have enough substance for me to recommend. So yeah, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10 just because it's...
See, I'm surprised because everything you said it works, that it's like perfectly average, but you gave it a worse than average score.
Yeah, it's just kind of it really didn't deliver on any of the scares for me. Like there wasn't much of a reason to watch this for me. In everything but the scares, it was average, but there really wasn't any. There was no horror in this for me.
No, I thought that. I mean, there was a couple scares that were effective for me. There was a couple jump scares that I jumped at, and I just think how they pulled it off, like the choices that they made, really landed, and they were consistent with it, and it was just filled out enough in terms of character development and like concept development that it checked almost all the boxes for me.
Where are you going with this?
Much higher.
Wow.
Yes. I really like this one. Like, I mean, I get it. There's nothing really new, and that's fine.
It was
for
almost
me.
distracting how used it was. To me, it was every single thing that happened. I was like, "That's Paranormal Activity." I was like, "That's Blair Witch."
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole found footage format has been fucked out, and everyone's tried everything. I'm not sure if like specifically the Zoom meeting has been done. Like Unfriended is like video chat, which is different. It's different than a Zoom meeting.
Wait,
I mean, slightly.
In what way?
Well, I mean, it's slightly different. It's a conference. It's a conference call software versus like a chat with video, like a chat room. I mean, in practice, no, there's not much different. There's a bunch of video screens and people are watching it, but specifically,
I'll give you this single point. Yes, they did not do a Zoom meeting.
Right. Well, I mean, it's
when Unfriended.
It's of its time because it's specifically for COVID-19, right?
Yeah.
And so, like you said, everyone's on Zoom.
Everyone is on Zoom.
No one's using Google Hangouts. No one's using Facebook. Whatever.
Yeah, sure.
You can use anything, but everyone's using Zoom, and it's specifically people quarantining themselves for COVID-19. And so it just adds a little something, a little spice. Well, I mean, the criticism that there's nothing new. I mean, what was new in Paranormal Activity 2 through infinity? Like, it's the same thing, but it still works. It's still great. I wouldn't say Paranormal Activity 2 is worse than Paranormal Activity 1, even though there's nothing really new in it.
Oh, there are definitely different things that if they aren't new, they're at least entertaining enough to draw me in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's
the real distraction with the scares in Host is they are stolen whole cloth, like entirely from something else. Like all the cabinets, spoilers, all the cabinets flipping open at once. It's like, what am I supposed to say except for that's Paranormal Activity 2?
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's not paranormal. That was way before Paranormal Activity. That's like Poltergeist. That's any movie with like a spirit that you can't see is going to open all the drawers at some point.
Yeah, but I mean,
you're limited by the format in that you have a possession / poltergeist, haunting movie. Like there's only so many tricks you can do with not seeing what's happening, and that's you move shit, stuff gets thrown, or people start to be violently beat up by unseen hands or something. Like there's not a lot to work with, but this is
you have literally infinity to work with. Like you could do anything, like any old thing.
Okay, give me an example.
Well, you could literally whatever you say the rules are for a spirit, those are apparently the rules because they're not limited by anything. So, I mean, I understand that there's a certain amount that has to come through visually, but when you steal these things whole cloth, it just becomes distraction for me. I just go, that's from this, that's from that. Oh, they directly pulled this scene entirely out of Paranormal Activity 2. And didn't entertain me. It's just, I mean,
I don't mind that as much in terms of like the scares. Like, I honestly don't think there's that much more to do with a paranormal unseen spirit thing. Like there's only so much you can do. Any idea that you could add to it in terms of harm that a spirit could do or scares that a unseen spirit could produce, I think that well has been tapped and there's not a lot left. For me, it's just do they do it well? Because you can do it well and you can do it bad, and I thought this movie did it well.
Yeah, and that's the fundamental difference between what we're saying. Is like it just didn't feel like it pulled it off at all to me. It just felt unearned and kind of just kind of fell flat.
Yeah, I mean I guess that's kind of the deal with horror movies, is that if it draws you in enough, then it'll be good. Right. If it doesn't, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And it really has to do with the viewing experience. I mean, for me, if I'm like watching it because I feel obligated and I'm tired and,
I was pretty psyched to see this movie. I was like, yes, a movie that's under an hour.
Well, that contributes to it, though, is if you go in with high expectations, then it's hard to fulfill them.
Yes, that is true.
And so if you're going in with high expectations and then it shows you stuff that you've seen before, then it's...
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, what's your score?
I give this a score of 9.
What the fuck?
I think in terms of this type of movie, which is one of my favorite subgenres of horror.
Yeah, same here.
I think it makes no mistakes. Like it doesn't try to overextend itself. It uses the format that it chose well. The only beef I have with it that takes that chink off is that it shows the ghost before the last shot. Like the last shot worked for me. But showing the spirit at any time before then, just like, that made me roll my eyes.
Okay.
But in terms of like...
you and I are in agreement. Like, we basically said the exact same thing. The movie is correct.
Right.
The movie is fine.
Yeah.
It's just didn't do anything for me.
Right.
And it did something for you.
Right.
Yeah. So we saw the same movie.
I mean, I can't even say it did that much for me, but I reacted to a couple scenes enough that it passes the test. Because if you had never seen a movie like this before, this would be...
Oh, it would be earth-shattering.
Fucking amazing. Like that... If you haven't seen Blair Witch, if you haven't seen Paranormal Activity or Unfriended or any of those movies, like, this is a great version of all those...
I don't know.
All those movies.
The other part of this, that the reason I think it didn't land is I saw everything coming. This was like The Nun in terms of like build up, boom. Build up, boom. Delivery. So it's like I can, I have, that's the other thing is I have the format in my head down so well that you can't scare me with this format because it's not surprising. It's
right.
It's trying to be surprising, and therefore it goes through the recipe of how you surprise someone. And I go, I know this recipe very well. I utilize it on a daily basis to terrify my family. And
yeah, I mean, I get it. There is definitely that. I mean, for the majority of the spooky section where stuff is going wrong and people are getting picked off, like, yeah, I mean, nothing's that surprising.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that I think they throw in there that it's pretty good. Like the guy coming back is like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
Yeah,
what you guys up to? That's great.
Hey guys, I brought cake. Oh no. Yeah. No. Well, you know what?
What about the past? Our past.
We never really shared one.
You're inhuman.
No, I'm in touch with humanity.
I am in touch with my humanity, Bryce. I'll have.
But yeah, I mean, I think comes down to, and this is a question of, this is like an existential question. What are we rating on? Are we rating on how it affected us, or rating on how good is the movie?
Well, it has to be a mix.
As a thing.
It has to be a mix.
Yeah, it does have to be a mix.
Yeah.
And one informs the other, because you think a movie's good if it works for you, and if it doesn't work for you, it's not good.
And it's interesting because we both said the same things about this movie.
I'm just surprised that you gave it less than average. Like, I don't think that that's fair. I would say this is 5 or 6 territory. Less than average this is not a less than average movie.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so I'm think back on all the, like, you're saying this is worse than The Prodigy.
See, I didn't rate The Prodigy at 5. But maybe I did.
I'm pretty sure we both rated it a 5. It was like perfectly middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing.
I mean, I've changed a lot over a year and a half, and it's been about a year and a half
if we listed out all our ratings for all these movies.
Well, this is why a rating a movie is such a bad concept. I mean, it's just because it's going to be informed by time, first of all. So you're gonna, like, the more of these fucking things you see, the more your scores are gonna like.
I honestly thought the fact that it was 50 minutes, it would have gotten like 1 or 2 points from you.
I mean, it did.
Like that. So you're saying it's actually a 2 or 3?
Look, I'm saying my heart said this is a 4 of a movie.
Okay.
And I went, I can't argue with my heart.
Okay, follow your
But
heart.
it's not a fucking 9. Like, are you saying it deserves to be up there, like, near The Shining? Like, it's not.
No, I mean, I gave Dr. Sleep a 10, and it's not, I don't think that's going to be a legendary movie. It's just a really, really good movie.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't see anything wrong with it. Right. And there's only, like, one thing I could say that I didn't like or didn't work for me, and it was minor. So I'd say it's a 9 out of 10.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dr. Sleep this whole time.
No.
I was like, yeah, it's a great movie with 1 or 2 things wrong. And then you're like,
no, Dr. Sleep, I gave it a 10 out of 10. It's like a...
Yeah, it's a solid fucking movie. Yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
This is not even remotely close to that. This is right around the Devil's Doorway for me. It's just like okay.
That's...
At least Thanksgiving, like...
That's just insulting.
At least Thanksgiving, like, did something. It's like, tried.
I gotta follow my heart. We'll talk about it in the spoiler section.
Okay. So, you guys should check out our Patreon. That is where you can get access to a whole nother podcast that we produce, along with a bunch of other perks and stuff for supporting us. We do a weekly podcast on Patreon that's basically our lives unfolded for you. With all the tears and blood and pee and farts and poop and
cum
and lots of cum, more cum than you've ever seen in your life. So check out our Patreon by going to patreon.com/horrormovietalk and
here's a preview of the afterpod.
Guys, I just wanted to say that
I just wanted to say that you guys come really hard. Also, you guys should check out localasfuckapparel.com. This is an apparel company that is just about as local as you can get, and they're based out of our hometown, Vancouver, Washington, but they're really local to anywhere because their brand says local AF all over it. So you can rep your locality. If you're from, how do they say Chicago? Is it Chi or is it Chi?
Chi-town.
Chi-town. You rep, if you're from Chicago, you rep Chi-town. So head on over to localasfuckapparel.com and use HMT at checkout to get 10% off of your whole gosh darn order. Again, this movie that we're reviewing today, Host, is on Shudder. So if you go to shudder.com, that's SHUDDER.com, and enter HMT at checkout, you get 30-day free trial. Or did you fart? Why are you sniffing around like that?
I smell like kitty litter very strongly right now.
You smell like kitty litter?
I smell kitty litter.
Oh, I thought you said you smell like
No, I don't. I don't smell like kitty litter.
I'm not going to.
I smell kitty litter.
I'm not going to test it. You can.
I might be having a stroke.
Oh,
we'll see.
Oh shit! I really.
Do you smell kitty litter when you have a stroke? I don't know.
I don't. I think it's almonds. But you know, who knows what kitty litter really smells like? You can also support the podcast by buying or renting any movie or product or any old thing on Amazon. If you click through the green button in the head of our website, it says buy stuff on Amazon. You click through that button, you bookmark it, and then every time you need to go surf Amazon and buy stuff, you go through that bookmark and we get a taste of every single purchase that you make.
That was great.
Truly professional. Finally, check out our resident artist, Dustin Goebel, who is a professional artist who fucks so hard. Dude, this Exorcist sticker, I am so amped up for. I've never been amped up for a sticker before.
Yeah, I'm not sure when this episode's going to come out, so I'm almost wondering if it's going to be sold out by the time this comes out.
It would not surprise me. It's just Linda Blair with her eyes rolled back and super bruised up and ominous looking, and it's like this is going to be one of the best pieces of like fanfic art for The Exorcist maybe ever, in my opinion. It's truly great. So yeah, you can help support Dustin by buying any of the stickers on our site that he created, minus our logo, and some of that will go to him. You can also contact him at dgoebel00. That's at DGOEBEL00 on Instagram, and make your artistic dreams come true. Tell him HMT sent you. Yeah, and you know, you can head on over to our shop and buy stuff that's horror movie talk related if you want to rep our brand. So, with that, all that out of the way, let's get into spoilers. Wow, that was kind of cool.
That was good.
Yeah. Okay. So, just gonna throw that down there. So, Zoom meetings, huh? That's impressive to Bryce. He's like,
it's not impressive. I mean, it's
a Zoom meeting,
but it's very specific, and it's very specific to right now. I mean, how many? No. To be honest, like it feels realer because how many times have you had a group video chat on Facebook or Google
with one or more demons?
With one or more demons. I mean, honestly, like, you know that the technology exists, but who does that? Like, who uses FaceTime or Facebook Messenger or Google Hangouts or anything actually for a group video chat?
It's a good point.
I don't know.
It took me right out.
I don't know anyone
who does this.
I don't know anyone that does that, even though you know it's possible.
Do you think the kids do it?
Because for one thing,
is this one of those things where we just aged out of being cool and we have no idea what's really happening in real life?
I don't know. I guess that's a good question to the listeners. Gen Z, if you're listening,
yeah,
or younger millennials, is video chat, group video chat, a thing that you do outside of COVID-19? I mean, before the pandemic, did anyone actually do that?
So actually, it's kind of ironic that we're talking about this. I did that yesterday with my mother-in-law, who's in the hospital. For that, it's great.
Well, yeah, 1-to-1 though. It's different for a group. So, like,
I love how dialed in on these very specific formats you are.
It makes a big difference.
It does.
Like, is it believable?
You're right. You are right.
So, Zoom specifically for right now, when people are in pandemic, like, that is literally what people are using. Everyone recognizes that screen.
Right. Everybody does.
And it makes sense because of, it's almost like, why was Unfriended made? Like, no one would do that, but now they would. Like, if you watch Unfriended now, you'd be like, oh yeah, everyone's...
It's ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It was ushering in the usage of video conferencing.
Those 2-hour-long video conferences that you did on Facebook because you didn't want to see your group of friends in person.
You know what? Maybe, and you know what? The other thing is maybe this is a pretty people thing. And we're left out because we just don't want others to see us.
Yeah, my video camera's turned off
all
on Zoom
the time. Like, it's like, are you kidding me? I have that one picture from when I had lost a bunch of weight a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And that's the picture that everyone gets to see all the time. And then they're let down in real life when they see the real me.
To make this more realistic, one of them should have had not a video feed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Well, then that would have been. I would have been totally distracted by the fact that they ripped that off from Unfriended.
Well, yeah, but that's used in Unfriended as that's the ghost. Right. That's the ghost profile.
Right.
This would just Anyways, I think it's
another very specific moment where Bryce is like,
it is very specific. I'm unapologetically specific about this one point. The Zoom meeting. 40-minute free trial.
I'm not here to kink shame you.
Like, I think it's great. It's the perfect idea for now, and it's surprising. I mean, they must have just in March just said we're going to do this.
Yeah,
because to get it out by now, while we're still quarantined, showed some initiative.
Yeah, it sure does. And not only that, like, they did a good job with what they had, which I'm always surprised at Unfriended couldn't have. I think we talked about this on the Unfriended episode.
I've never seen the first Unfriended. I've only seen the Dark
Web. Well, either one of them couldn't have cost anything to make. Like, it was like the cost of paying people's paychecks, and that's it.
Cost of paying
and shooting for like 4 days.
Some graphic designer to mock up the video chat interface.
Right. Yeah, it's or maybe they just recorded on video. Like we could save a lot of fucking money on cameras because it has to look real, right? It has to look like kind of grainy, like a computer screen would.
Yeah.
So might as well just cut out the middleman. Why are we using these nice expensive cameras to shoot this shit?
Yeah.
So
you sent me a text and I was so confused because I thought you were talking about our videos, like what we upload to YouTube. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. So let me open up my deal here so that we can,
because I read it and I assumed you were drunk.
I said
so I was trying to read it through the lens of what was he meaning to say, and I should have just read it specifically what you were saying. I
said, I love how we have to establish IT incompetence before every one of these vid format movies. So like at the start of these movies, they got to be like, oh, how's my camera on? Ooh, is this thing on? Is this working? I don't know. I'm not good at computers.
Yeah.
I'm bad at this. Yeah. They got to do that every time for 5 minutes. Like, oh, how's this? Hello? Can you guys hear me? We can hear you. Okay.
Yeah, but it's true.
It is true.
It is so true. I work somewhere where we have, even before coronavirus, we have like bi-weekly client meetings, and even the people that have been doing it forever.
Yeah, it's like you did this yesterday.
Like they're still sitting in like a super echoey or loud room.
Bathroom.
They're still using their shitty webcam mic.
Yeah.
And they still like don't know how to share their screen. It's amazing.
How do people go through life with this level of like
part of it is
they're not self-aware at all. I'm so aware of myself.
Yeah, I mean the one thing though is part of it's like the pressure of performance to where you know where the share a screen button is, but in the moment when you're like, everyone's waiting for you to share your screen, you're like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like it's one of those things where...
See, this is another one of those things that I agree but I find it unforgivable because I've already thought that step through 30 minutes ago before the meeting even started. So my mouse cursor is on that button at all times. I'm like, and so all I have to do is reach over to the mouse and go click. And because as soon as my mind blanks, I go, you just click the mouse button. You put it there already. Remember? I go, yeah. So it's not acceptable. You people need to get your shit together is what we're trying to say.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's 6 friends, but for most of the movie, it's really just 5 friends because the dude, so there's 5 girls, 5 gals, and then a seance leader, psychic person, and then a boy, a man boy, a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. Mm-hmm. And he has a girlfriend that doesn't make any sense at all. Brought me straight out of the movie. She's this goddamn 9 out of 10 stunner. And he's got 70 extra.
I thought she was 4 out of 5. I thought she was 4 out of 10, to be honest. I've seen it all before. I've seen hot blondes. There's nothing new with that girlfriend.
You're just gonna pass up, and I'll catch it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll catch with you. I'll wing it for you. But he had 70 pounds on him that didn't need to be there, and he's sitting here with this girl who's like. Just a glowing, radiant light, which, by the way, most girls are. If you're a woman, I pretty much love you right now.
Yeah, but looks like he's got a house with a pool, so, you do the math.
Touche. That's a very good point.
He's a single guy that owns a house with a pool.
And he's got a man bun. He had his hair up in a man bun,
right.
That's alpha behavior. That's like
my hair is getting long enough where I could do a man bun probably.
That's like
I couldn't draw all of it, but it's impressively long right
It
now.
is really long. Your hair is usually so coiffed.
Yeah, it looks fine most of the time. It can get pretty long, and I can make it pretty long. I'm down from the bayou.
Oh, well, you know.
Down in New Orleans.
Down in Arizona.
Down
in Arizona. That's the South.
Hey, Jason confirmed.
Jason, one of our Patreon members, confirmed that people in Arizona talk like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually when my hair gets pretty long, I can hide it, behind my ears, and like with enough pomade, you make it look like it's less hair. But then it gets to a point where there's no hiding.
Yeah,
if I don't have anything in my hair, it's just like literally just all over the place.
It's boy band level.
Yeah, I could probably
whip it around a little bit here. Ooh, had a tousle in it. Ooh, we need to get a video of that. Yeah. So your hair does a thing that I love, which is it lays down. It just kind of whipping it.
I'm doing
it's hot.
The 2000 teens boy band
the hair flip,
where they're constantly flipping their hair, and it still just lands right back in their eyes.
Yeah, right in their eyes. Yeah, it's there it is. They get a brief moment of respite where they get to blink once or twice, and then
we got to get a video of this.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So there's 6 friends, but pretty much immediately the dude drops out because his girlfriend's like, "It's time to have sex."
He's like, "See ya,
gotta go, gals."
No, it's a great.
The dick's in demand.
It's a great moment because they're okay. Here's what I like about this movie, and this, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say this is weirdly specific.
I'm not here to kink shame you,
but it's not. This is the mark of a good movie, is that not everyone has a very you are picking at your toenail.
I found it. I'm picking at the inside of my toe because there was a splinter in there and it hurt really bad.
Oh,
got it out.
Ouch. So not for everyone, but for a couple of the characters, you can see that there is something going on in their relationship between each other. So especially between, I can't remember the character names.
Yeah, it's all interchangeable.
There's just a second. Especially the relationship between Gemma and Haley. So Haley's like the main character. It starts with her. She
organized the seance.
She's the host. So her and Gemma start on the call, just the two of them, and there's one moment. I don't know if you noticed it, but it worked so well for me, is that they were on and it was just them, and they're like, oh, it's just us right now? Like, yeah. And then Gemma's like, do you mind if I, text someone? And Haley's like, no, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. And so Gemma, kind of leans back and starts texting, and she gives like a glance up while she's texting.
Like to check.
Yeah. Just to be like, what's this bitch doing? It's so subtle. It's so subtle. And then Haley does the same thing to her, which is just like it's like if you were a 9-year-old being followed by someone with a mustache at a fair, you'd be like, I'm just doing my thing, but you'd also just check behind you if the guy with the mustache and cotton candy is still following you. It's like that kind of view. It's like an interpersonal, there's beef, and it communicates that in a glance. Huh. Did you notice that?
I can't say I noticed the extremely subtle glance, no.
Yeah, so that specifically, and then there's like one or two things sprinkled that you tell that Haley is tired of Gemma's shit, and Gemma is tired of Haley's shit. Very subtly, and you're never told why. But the main, one of the main twists and kind of the impetus of the movie is Gemma not taking this thing that Haley set up seriously, and it's like the person at the Ouija board that moves
Quidja,
the pointer intentionally, so that because they're bored of nothing happening.
Yeah.
And I went on like one of those underground haunted tour things, and I realized that's what it is.
This is a Quidja board.
It's people standing around silently long enough till the narcissist that gets bored of nothing happening and them not being paid attention
they have to. Be a
to.
Narcissist. This could just be somebody who's fucking bored.
Right. But I mean, that's a pretty strong, I don't know. I look down on someone that's like, no, I'm going to verify the supernatural world and make everyone.
They could just be a giving person.
Confirm.
Like, these people paid for a show, I'm going to give it to them.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was there. The person I'm thinking of, like, it was about them.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was about them.
Okay. This guy, I hate this guy. This guy's a jerk.
It was a girl.
A
woman.
Was this perhaps someone you might be related to?
No.
Oh, damn. Darn.
This is like a networking event. It's pretty great for a networking event, actually. It's pretty fun.
So it was about them. They're like, if I were to do this in a haunted house sort of thing, I eat a lot of beans the day before. And then just...
Whoa. I think I heard something. The floor was creaking like someone was stepping nearby.
Barking spiders.
Did you hear that? Oh, there's a foul stench.
Step on a mouse.
Something nefarious is in the air. No, so I mean, there's that subtlety, and then later when all 5 of the girls are on the line, and then they talk about the guy before he gets on, and they're talking about how much they dislike his girlfriend, and then he hops on, and he's like, "Hey guys," and they're like, "Hey, oh yeah," like that felt very real, and then it's like confirmed that this girlfriend is not part of the friends, and he's gonna get his dick sucked more than sitting on a Zoom call.
He's like, "You like that pool, don't you? Time for me to get a little wet, baby."
So he at one point,
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.
So that's like the first thing that happens. They start the seance, and it gives like that 20 Mississippi moment of nothing really happening, and they're taking it really seriously. They got their candles, and then the girlfriend comes into frame. She's like, "What you doing?" And she starts like licking on his earlobe and stuff, and he's like, "Okay, guys, I gotta go." And then he leaves before anything happens.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "God damn it, that girlfriend's ruining everything." So there's like little subtle relationship moments. They never like spell it out necessarily, but you can tell that Haley is tired of Gemma's shit. Yeah. And then when she plays that kind of practical joke of acting like she was hearing voices, like Haley gets pissed. Mm-hmm. She's like, "I'm trying to do a thing here. I'm trying to do like a thing. I told you should take it seriously. Like, it's really disrespectful and all this stuff." And you can tell like this is not the first time it's happened. And even the reactions of the others kind of paint that. And then that's the impetus for the whole movie, because when the seance lady comes back, they tell her, and she's like, "Why the fuck did you do that?" So
to be clear, just to bring this kind of full circle for everybody. So what happens is the seance begins, and then at some point the seance lady drops off the call, as happens consistently, with people's internet connections and whatnot. And in the interim, while she had dropped off the call, Gemma gets bored, apparently, just like what we've been talking about, and fucks around, makes a mockery of the seance. And it is revealed that she had made a mockery, and then some weird spooky shit just kind of happens. It's like a little something in the background. It's like, whoa, what was that? Whoa, what was that? And then the seance lady comes back, and she's like, "Hey guys, sorry I dropped off the call." They describe what happened, and she's like, "You guys didn't take this completely seriously all the time, like what you're supposed to do with these super entertainment driven things that I do. You didn't take it totally seriously?" And they're like, "Not exactly, no." She's like, "Well, now I hope you're happy, because you're all going to die, because now there's a ghost that's going to come get you. Eat you up."
It's this is like a concept. I'm sure it's been done before, but I can't recall if this is done before. Maybe, all the witches that listen can tell me whether this is like actually a thing. But the seance lady tells them specifically why that's very bad, is that, you're here, you're calling out spirits, and you're trying to get them to communicate. And what she did was
spit in their face. One showed up, you spat in his face, now he's fucking pissed.
No, that's not what she said. So, like, what she said Gemma did is that now that you've created a lie, you've created, like, a thing out of thin air, you've created a mask for anyone, any spirit to come in, and you've basically invited any, kind of thing. Could be demonic forces, like all these things. And she's like, "This is very bad. Like, we need to kind of resolve this and shut it down." Yeah, pretty much. And then, of course, as they're trying to shut it down, the seance lady, her connection gets disconnected.
And by the way, she's recording from like a goddamn dungeon. Yeah. Like, it's like, where are you recording from?
She's probably recording from a cobblestone and thatch roof cottage in Ireland.
It looked like the same place that, what's his name? Big movie star, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, Johnny Depp.
It looked like the place where he recorded his COVID meeting. There's like a goddamn candelabra in the background and like fucking stone walls.
Right. It's like dirt walls. So yeah. So then the seance lady gets disconnected, and then all hell breaks loose, basically.
Yes. They decide to take a pee break, which is also, I'm sure, is something that brought Bryce snapped straight to focus for Bryce. He's like, yeah, Zoom meetings, they do take breaks.
No, I don't remember that. It didn't do anything for me, sorry.
No.
Values chair?
Yeah, I think that's... So
Haley's.
Haley's. I take notes on my phone.
Oh,
and
so
it just
autocorrect.
It just autocorrects every damn word I write. So Haley's chair gets dragged across the room and shit starts to get real. And then we just start... And then it just kind of devolves into... like scare after scare after scare, and this is the point at which it was just like, well, I'm not bought into any of these people, but here we go anyway. Here's the roller coaster. We're going down.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit of like it's happening to people separated geographically, so it's unsettling because it's not just happening to one person, like it's happening to all of them
simultaneously,
and no one's safe.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're feeling any kind of empathy for the characters, and I can totally understand if you're not bought into it, but if you're feeling and experiencing it and seeing it through the eyes of one of the other people, of like just watching passively stuff happen to your friends, like that's disturbing. And that's kind of like what Unfriended does a lot.
Yes.
Because you're just sitting at a screen watching someone get hurt that you care about, or someone like have something really scary happen, and it's scary to you too.
Yes.
So it's a little bit of that, and so it kind of trades off, and people, it kind of really focuses first on Haley.
I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point.
Yeah, it focuses first on Haley, and then on the one girl that's like the scaredest.
Oh yeah. She's a total mousy, just like very quiet, huddled in the corner before the seance begins. She's like, I don't know about this shit.
Right. Like I said, like I really respect the acting and probably like the script that dictated some of the reactions, because with these movies and with Unfriended, the one that I saw, it requires the strong characters, and then it does the thing where it's like, here are the archetypes that we need to fulfill. We got to have the jokey guy. We got to have the guy that's a little more spiritual. We got to have the girl that's ditzy and cute and blah blah blah. And so they have all like the Mystery Machine cast
got your bases
represented.
Covered. Yeah.
And this one is a little more subtle, that there's not a lot, there's not like a specific...
Well, it has to be more subtle because they don't do that.
Right.
It's like the effort of making these strong characters isn't there.
So there's a couple, like the stuff that they do. Poop. They pull it off really well. And this one girl, you can tell she's very trepidatious about this whole thing.
Yeah.
And she's easily scared. And so when stuff starts happening on her end, it's great because you're like, she is the most scared. And it's like great. Stuff is in the attic and she's like, okay, fuck this. She goes, gets her like selfie stick instead of going up in the attic. So she just kind of like pokes it up and looks around. And she probably can't really see what's on the screen, but others can. And there's like
legs
for a couple seconds. There's these legs dangling like someone's hanging.
Yeah.
And then it looks back and they're gone.
Yeah.
So everyone's freaking out, and then she's freaking out, and then it's great.
Yeah. And let me see here. What do I want? What else do I want to say about this? Do you have anything that stands out to you following?
Here, I just realized one of the things. Here's another thing that bothered me about this movie.
Okay.
And it's very, very minor. Haley's computer as the camera. Mm-hmm. Two things. One, when she gets up and starts walking around, who points their computer out when they're walking?
Oh, you mean holds it in front of them so that everyone else can see where you're walking?
Yeah. And she was doing that before anyone was on the call. Yeah. She picked it up, faced the screen.
Really?
Yeah, she faced the screen out So it was like a POV camera of her walking through her house. And I was like, why would you be holding your computer? Like, what? In reality, it would be the computer looking up at your double chin or something, like a really unflattering view as you're walking through. So that thing. And then the second thing is, did you notice when she's walking through her super dark house that all of a sudden her webcam is like night vision for some reason?
Yeah, but to me that does not bother me so much because cameras are so good now that I just believe it. Like the camera on my phone just automatically does that shit, just very automatically. It's just like always bright as day in any dark situation. I can turn it on and use it to walk around.
Yeah, I mean it literally looked like night cam vision, and I think what they're going for was that the light from the screen lit the hallway enough that it could see, but I don't know. It pulled me out because it felt like it was night vision.
To your first point about her turning the camera around and it being like that's a good point, but mostly it just reminds me of our old boy Ollie, the drain addict on YouTube, who has a YouTube channel where he's just a plumber who just exclusively squirts poop with high pressure water, and it's very satisfying. And I've been reaching out to Ollie, and he's been seeing my messages, but he won't reply. And
how do you know that he sees your message?
Because Facebook tells me. Facebook goes, he saw this, and I go, did you see what I said, Ollie? I said we'd like to have you on our horror movie review show, and we really love everything that you do, and we love.
There's Ratty.
We love Ratty.
Morning, Ratty.
Morning, Ratty. And we just love all the blockages.
And there's the blockage.
Oh, thick.
Like a big sausage. It is. It's like a big sausage of shit.
Ollie, I'm begging you, man. I'm begging you. Oh man, there's that. I keep going back to that one where he's in the stairwell and it's like the stairwell of like a shared apartment complex, and all that poop just comes erupting out of this drain pipe, just all over the ground, and then he has to like scoop it back in to the pipe using an inverted road cone.
Oh yeah, that was one of the latest ones. Yeah,
I love that one.
One of my favorite ones is that it's in a big apartment complex, and it was like one of the rare occasions which he just couldn't do anything. Like,
wow!
It was like he found out that the problem was like in the like street municipal
too far away,
and he said. But it was great because he goes down. So like if you're in a basement apartment, you know, you have to walk down the stairs, and then there's like the stairwell, and at the bottom there's the little square that has the drain.
Oh yes,
that like, you know, if it's raining, the rain will go into there. He starts, you know, spraying the water and getting into that drain, and just utter filth and shit is like overflowing, and it's flooding that area. And it's like, you know, it's going into that apartment, and they're like, hey, you and I think the person that lived there was like, hey, you can't do that, it's gonna get. And he's like, can't be helped. It's great. It's like he does not give a shit. He was like, it'll spray off eventually. Like, oh,
wow. Can you imagine the balls to be like, hey, you. I know I'm spraying actual people's shit into your house, apartment. But can you fuck off? Can you like not? I'm working here, and they're just like, there's like, this is poop. And he's like, what are you going to do? I'm the poop master.
What's the alternative? What's the alternative?
Come at me? You gonna fight the guy who's covered in poop?
It's like, okay, so
I can spray you with poop right now.
The alternative is your drain is still blocked, and so anytime you flush the toilet, it runs back out of your toilet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want it?
You want that option?
You want it deep in your apartment, or you want it in the entryway?
Yeah. Or there's another one where the drain or the access to it is in like a garage.
Okay.
And there's like,
I think
there's stuff in the garage.
Yeah, I've seen.
It's like a storage thing.
He just wantonly walks into places, gets shit everywhere, and then just walks away.
He
cleans it up.
He does clean it up, but it's like you're not going to get everything.
But you're talking about a man who does not have the same reverence for poop that you do.
Right.
This is a man who is battle hardened by big fat fucking turds. Every day he sees and smells other people's turds all day long. So he just doesn't faze him. Whereas for you, if you walk into an area and there's poop all over the ground, you're like, oh, this is literally hell. I have found hell on earth. For him, it's just another day. Ollie, I know you see my messages. I have so many good questions for you. Why are there so many block drains in Australia? Is it what you eat? Is it what you use to make
too much corn?
Is it what you use to make your pipes out of? Is it just localized to your area? What has gotten you to the point where you are so willing to touch poop all the time? Be in contact with, is it a tremendously lucrative job? I have so many questions for you.
All right, let's get back to host.
How did you determine that this would be a good, entertaining concept? I love everything about it. Mm-hmm. I need to talk to you, Ollie. I have questions. Okay, back to host. So
yeah, then stuff starts happening and it kind of trades off between them. There's a couple cool things. You have it marked down like the filter stuff.
Yeah.
I think that works great. That's one thing that like I think is new. Like I got to give it credit. That filter thing where it's in the middle of this room,
it's
this
like a V for Vendetta mask,
this kinda floating like makeup face.
Yeah.
You know, with see-through eyes because it's
meant to be a filter over your face.
And there's nothing there. It's just floating in the air still.
Right.
And then she's like walking towards it.
Kind of like reaches for it a little bit.
And then it turns.
It looks at her. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
The baby looked at you? So that worked for me. I think that like was one of the kind of jump scares that was really off-putting, that was really cool. Because they didn't show anything. It's a filter and you know something's there.
It's new.
It's like the computer knows.
It is new, but as soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what was coming.
Sure.
You know, and so it was just wasted on me.
I mean,
and I had that thought in the moment. I was in the moment of the movie. I was like, not only did I recognize it for what it was and then go, this is going to happen. Then I took another step back and I went, I just realized what happened in this movie to an infuriatingly accurate extent.
I mean, I do that all the time too.
But I took another step.
But I still appreciate it for like, oh yeah, that's new and cool. I mean, the only other choice they could have made was have it not turn towards her and just disappear or something. That would be kind of unsettling too, but there's not a lot of choices that you can make after you show that filter mask floating in the air.
Or, you know what would have been cool? Okay, so you got this kind of like halfway see-through filter mask floating in midair in virtual space on the computer only.
Or just have it start talking. That would be freaky.
That would be freaky.
Like the Adventures of Mark Twain devil, the claymation thing.
Oh man, that thing scarred me to this day.
Yeah.
That thing is spooky. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the I think a made-for-TV movie, The Adventures of Mark Twain, you can find it on YouTube. It is weird.
That specific scene is one of the most disturbing animated things. It's so off-putting.
Bad acid trip of a movie that was made for kids, supposedly. But
yeah.
Anyway, no, if that mask if she reached out for it and then like a person or a thing just appeared under her hand, like a whole like visage was actually showed up, you know, like in the room there with her, and then she's like, you know, that would have been good too. Yeah.
They did do that. They did show like the face of the monster a couple times, and it was like it fell so flat for me. like, oh, why did you do that? You ruined it.
It was so quick that I didn't really get a good eye on it. But yes,
they did it. I think they did it twice, and then they did it at the very end, and they should have just left it at the very end, because that was, for me, the most effective jump scare, because it's great. They have it set up. The 40-minute free trial is ending, and it has like the countdown, like upgrade, or else this is going to end in 50 seconds.
Yeah,
and then it gets down to you know exactly what's going to happen, but I'm still drawn in. It's like 10, 9, 8, 7, and it gets down to 1. Boo! Boogity 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 boogity. So, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So then people just kind of get picked off.
Yeah,
they get pulled up into the air. They get wiggled around until their important juices leak out.
The other cool thing that they do, and I don't think this has been done before either. I don't think Unfriended have it, because this is also a Zoom thing, is that the girl set up the background, the video background for herself, to where she shot a video of her walking into the room and just doing mundane things.
Yeah.
And she sets that as the background for like the green screen background. And so that's like a Zoom thing. And then what happens is she leaves the room, but then like stuff happens and it kind of calms down, and then you see her come back into the room and start like rifling through her drawers and stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, so she's just come back after she peed or whatever. And then everyone's like, wait a minute, isn't that the background that she shot? And like they kind of look at it closer, and then this kind of like glitch happens where you see like her face for like half a second. And then it reveals eventually that her face getting bashed into the fucking keyboard.
Yeah. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. That was, so yeah, there are some new ideas in this that I haven't seen before, and I think that's commendable.
That one fucked with me because it's hard to, I do enjoy that feeling of being gaslit, and that was very much like, I have no idea what reality is going on right now, and I didn't for the rest of the movie. I was like, what the what actually happened?
Because before they see anything, the chat box starts like blooping messages, but it's all just like mashing the keyboard, like FGHHHQX, and then like that over and over again, a bunch of messages are getting shown, and then they like,
that's right,
look, and then her head like appears.
It's got the F
from
key
behind
on
the green screen, and she's like bloodied. And then it just shows her getting her head bashed into the keyboard by an unseen force. So it's good stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, all of the scares and all the stuff that happens is pretty generic jump scare stuff. They kind of change it up with the guy. He gets burned alive, that was kind of disturbing.
That was very disturbing.
And it ends with, pretty much everyone is dead. And then it has like the countdown for the time's going to end, and then there's boogity boogity
boogity boogity. Then you see the spirit come at you. The same way Paranormal Activity ended, the original one, with her leaping at the camera. But I gotta say, can I get that drop from last week? The Jim Carrey. There was not one titty in this.
Can I see one titty? Oh, girl, just give me one titty. I just want to see one of your titties, girl.
Not one titty in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I always assumed if you're going to have a Zoom call among girlfriends, they're just all going to be topless. I mean,
that's how it happens in my head. For sure.
And they just kind of mush them together. That's mostly what the call is.
Like pressing,
just lifting and pushing them together,
and then like taking their nipple, like intentionally like tickling each other's nipples with each other's nipples, right?
On the video chat.
Yeah. I see where you're going. Oh, wait, I blacked out there for a minute.
Can I see one titty?
All I could think of was one titty.
Yeah.
Where am I? What's happening?
I don't know. I feel confident that this is a good movie, and I recommend it. I think final recommendations.
A lot of people agree with you.
I think this is definitely worth seeing, and I think you should see it before the lockdown is released, which, could be for another 6 months.
Don't worry, no rush. You could see it from now until 4 years from now. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Final recommendations. A lot of people seem to enjoy this movie a lot. So don't listen to,
the naysayers that score it 4 out of 10.
Don't listen to...
They're just negative Nellies.
Super jaded, really intelligent, very handsome reviewers who are they're just too, I don't know. They have more important things to do than watch Host. They have to watch...
I'm surprised we've talked so much about it.
Yeah, we talked way longer than the actual movie about the movie.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, go see Host or don't. Whatever. I'm just a
happy camper. Rocking and a rolling.
And with that, let's get into our newish bit where we take calls from you all to the number of what is our number? It is
971.
It is. Oh shit! That's where my message. It is 971-772-0743. Again, that's 971-772-0743. You go ahead and call that number. You let us know what you're thinking about. If you need us to settle an argument, apparently you can just fart into your phone. Or you can get real cracked out or something like that and just record a bunch of unintelligible bullshit. It's all there. So with that, let's get into horror movie talk. Whoores.
Whores. Good Lord, how long is that?
Okay, so there's a lot of messages here. Some people went like apoplectic. When they heard the number,
I'm going to guess that there's one person in particular.
Bugsy Siegel. I mean, it's like I don't know too much about. I know more than I should know about Bugsy for sure, but I don't know him personally. But it seems like he had a little bit of a manic episode with our voicemail line.
I think Bugsy lives in a manic episode.
Okay, so here is one of many voicemail messages that Bugsy left us. I'll play as many as you want to hear. Like, I have all day. It doesn't matter. So
I gotta read this.
Hey.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead with the thing.
Chop the body up as fast as you can. Grab the acid. I'm calling movie phone to get our tickets to Halloween Kills. What do you mean it got delayed? You son of a bitch. Hold on. Let me call my Hoodie Pinocchios. Hey, Hoodie Pinocchios. HMT. Horror Movie Talk. It's your boy, Bugsy. Hey, the rapper from H2O was LL Cool J. Okay? And I agree. There are some sexy-ass children on TikTok, but I can't say that after I turned 30 in January. Much love, Bryce, Dave, let's fucking get it. I'm waking up this morning, another 12-hour shift. Couldn't get through my day without the professor of no-nos or the doctor no-nos. Something I smoke a little bit too much, but I believe he does as well. Bryce, keep the flatulence up. Keep on burping, keep on serving. Much love, I'm swerving. Hope I'm not getting pulled over for this body I have in the back of my trunk.
So Bugsy is a rapper.
Yeah.
Among many things.
He's also a delivery driver.
He has
monster truck enthusiast.
Songs that, I mean, he's working on a track with Bubba Sparks right now.
Right.
So he's an amalgamation.
And he used to work at a casino. What was it he was talking about? He was the guy that would tell the pimps whether the hoes were hot enough.
Like the owner of a casino, and the owner just wanted whores all day, and so like he would send Bugsy out to like negotiate with the whores.
Right. Well, the guy, that was weird. The guy, the boss would look out the window
and be like, nah,
and decide whether or not he wanted the whore or not. And Bugsy's job was to go out to the pimp and say, no, try again.
Give me another one of those.
Keep
whores.
bringing other whores.
Was there like a clown car of whores? Like, where are they all coming from?
I think they left and came back. They went to the whore emporium.
Maybe they just go and did their makeup different and come back.
So this is an excerpt from a Instagram thing. We love Bugsy. What is wrong with my Jesus? We love Bugsy. He's a patron now, and so he has access to all the afterpods, which I talk about my dad recently dying, and so he left this
Bugsy.
message. And my uncle passed while making song, and Dad called for the first time in a decade from rehab. Full circle stuff. I know the feeling of losing someone. My grandma got my Uncle Ash's sent in mail. I posed with his urn for his B-Day with weed and beer. My family drugged to another state to get his dog. Left my uncle a cupcake for B-Day. His dog jumped up and ate it. I super overfed my hamster before vacation one time. Came back, he was fat, couldn't breathe. I made a bed for him, propped him up, and watched gasp for air. Was so sad, nothing I could do. Passed and buried him. Still kills me. All of that in two. That was only two messages.
Two sentences.
So it's nice hearing Bugsy's voice, because
it's your boy Bugsy Siegel, calling from Tampa. Anyways, Bryce is at the bar. He walks into the bar bathroom to take a piss. He looks down and sees a small midget, Dave, next to him taking a piss at the other urinal. Dave looks up at him. Bryce is like, oh man, I've never seen a dick that big in my life. Dave's like, that's because I'm a leprechaun, and all leprechauns have a dick this size. Bryce is like, why? My God, all I do is burp all the time. Can't really get much women that way. I would do anything if my dick was that big, anything. Dave says, well, my lad, since I'm a leprechaun, I can grant your wish. If you'd let me take you in the stall over there and fuck you. Bryce is like, I don't know. You know, I'm married. I got a family, but, fuck it. Next thing you know, David's fucking away. Fucking hard, like the graphic designer from HMT. He asked him, in between strokes, Bryce is like, oh. Dave's like, how old are you? Bryce says, about to be 40. Dave says 40. Imagine that. And still believes in leprechauns. Dave fucked Bryce, and Bryce's dick isn't going to get any bigger. Much love, Horror Movie Talk. HM Tizzle. It's your boy Bugsy. Much love.
It's almost Norm Macdonald.
I have 20 messages that are just like this.
Jesus.
So there's not a lot of like coherent messages. Here's another one that came from another caller. I think I know who this is.
You ever considered taking a shit while listening to My Heart Will Go On? Try it.
I haven't, but
It's your boy Bugsy, calling from a small town called None of Your Goddamn Business. Here with the official Horror Movie Talk single, HMT Anthem. This is a hook, this is a chorus, this is what I got for you. B&D, Bryce and Dave, let's get it. Chopper, chopper. Don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone under hoodie Picasso. Look at them hot kids swearing not a pedo. Got me too with Cosby eating jello. Putting pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Strained addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, and dinner rum soup kid. Let's get it. It's your boy Bugsy. I get Bugsy Siegel. Much love. Horror Movie Talk.
Man, Bugsy, I mean, really, he should be a hype man for other rappers. Like, he's got the hype man thing down.
Yeah, he does. And then...
You got to speak in your microphone.
Let's, I'll play that one again here.
Okay. That's good echo. He must be in a like a public bathroom. Jesus Christ!
It devolved so quickly into just total. I mean, real shit.
All right. Well, first I want you to tongue my bong while you juggle my balls in one hand and play with my asshole with the other, but don't stick your finger in. Then I want to pinky you while I stick it in your fucking friend's brown with some about watches and fucking spanks in a Dixie cup. After that, I want to smell your titties for a while. And you can pull my nutsack up over my dick so it looks like a bullfrog. Then I want you to fucking flick my nuts while your friend spanks me up in the same Dixie cup that Sal Bob jizz in. Let me throw the Dixie cup out.
All right.
So here's one from a caller in Brooklyn. This I think is Ralphie. Let me see here.
Yeah, hey, this is Ralph the Raccoon. I'm calling from Bronx, New York, over here
Bronx.
in NYC. I just wanted to say thank you guys for helping me out during this time, and during this quarantine, it's been really shitty. It's been really rough, and I've been listening to you guys. You've been helping me out. Thanks so much. Good luck to you guys. Continued success. I'm cheering for you over here in NYC. Peace.
What was his name again?
I think it's Ralphie. Ralphie from the Bronx.
Well, thanks, Ralphie from the Bronx.
Yeah, thank you, Ralphie. Here's another one. This is
glad to help you out and lead you through quarantine.
I think this is Kit Kat in Utah here.
Hey guys, this is Kit Kat in Utah.
Yeah.
I just want to let you guys know your show is awesome. I loved every minute of it. Honestly, it's amazing how often, as you're reviewing your films, I'm thinking exactly the same thing as what you're saying, and it's like we're on the same wavelength, honestly. And you guys have not really helped me rediscover horror because that never went away, but you just sort of fanned the flame, and it's just making me love it all over again. I recently rewatched Gremlins after listening to your podcast for it, and I got so much more out of it this time. So keep up the good work. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Kit Kat.
Right? Isn't this great?
Yeah, this is great.
Getting to hear people who genuinely have something more to say than
Yeah, this is much better than the first time that we had the voicemail.
That was rough. Let me tell you. Here's one of my favorites. Thank you guys for reaching out again. Let me see here. What is that? Why can't I just 971-772-0743. So here we go.
Hi, this is See No Evil, calling from Cleveland, Ohio. Just want to let you guys know, love your Horror Movie Talk podcast. I have been blind since August of 2018, and your spoilers really gets me through my Wednesdays. It takes me down memory lane when you review movies that I've seen in the past. And it also helps me determine movies that I've never seen, whether I want to rent them and listen to them or just take a pass on them. I can't get involved with social media since I can't see your Patreon, but I would like to support your podcast.
She goes on to, See No Evil goes on to, say that she'd like to support us and to reach out to her, and she gave me her number. So I went ahead and I called her yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
And, and I had an hour and a half long discussion with See No Evil from Cleveland. And she's a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
Who, and we talked about, her childhood kind of growing up in I believe Cleveland, definitely Ohio, in the 70s. And I said, we used to listen to a lot of Adam Carolla, and he said growing up in the 70s was just awful. But his parents were
probably the source of most of it.
Probably the source of most of his misery. And he grew up in California. I was like, what was it? how did you like? She's like, it was fucking awesome. It was great. Yeah. And I was like, I kind of would like to move to Cleveland.
I feel
Cincinnati.
like the Midwest is like quietly, they're living their best life over there.
I do too.
Like
I want to get out there. Man.
No one you don't hear about terrible, other than Chicago, you don't hear about like terrible things happening out there.
Columbus has a pretty corrupt police force, I think.
Yeah. We've seen that. As long as you're white, it's probably great.
Great.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I guess that's true for most of America.
Yeah, it's pretty much all the world, really. But it was so nice getting to talk to.
No, that was a great. That warmed the cockles of my heart. Dude, like that's so great that
she goes totally blind and can't watch movies anymore, and so we apparently help her kind of relive them in a way, shape, or form. And actually, I asked her, I said, so do you still watch horror movies? And she's like, yeah. So there's this really cool thing about like physical media on DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff. There's a feature most of the time,
right,
where there's an audio track that plays on top of the audio track of the movie that narrates the things that are happening. So
it has that on Netflix for some stuff too.
So it's like Carrie goes to open the door, and then so it turns a movie into almost
it's like an audiobook. Yeah.
And so I was like, have you was it hard to transition? Do you know how to read Braille? And she's like, you don't need to fucking read Braille. I got Google. Right. Google just does every fucking it's great. And she started describing, it's like somebody sends me a text message, Google reads it to me. If I want to know what time it is, I just say, "Hey Google." I hope I didn't turn. Yeah, I did. I turned my my Google on. But she's like, it's not ideal to be blind, but it's not a bad time to be blind. So
you pick the right time to go blind is what we're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And she said she didn't so much care for the burping. Or the casual cursing.
Okay.
But she said her husband does it all the time anyway, and she loves him more than anybody else.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
The
cursing or the burping?
Well, all of it, I think.
Yeah.
So here's another message. Thank you so much, See No Evil. We really appreciate you reaching out to us at 971-772-0743. And I expect to have many more conversations with her because she was a lovely person.
It's your boy Bugsy Siegel, coming to drop that second verse, that hot fire, HMT verse 2, let's get it. Nothing good happens in the woods, always get more than you bargain for. Got a tickle to dickle, machines tickle biddies, killer on the phone, ain't no Sharon Stone, Vancouver, Portland, Oregon, and Oregon is Corona, COVID, curse, Verona, Free River Killer, because, reason, hallway and poop monster, kids screaming. Ain't your ordinary dingleberry itinerary. 30-day shudder and jump scares ain't fucking scary. Time for the spoilers with jokes and tropes. Use your white socks to catch their load. Said, ain't your ordinary dingleberry itinerary. 30-day shudder and jump scares ain't fucking scary. Time for the spoilers with jokes and tropes. Use your white socks to catch their load. It's your boy Bugsy. Let's get it. HMT, horror movie talk anthem, verse 2.
Say what you will about Bugsy. The guy knows every single word we've said.
Yeah. He knows. Like out of anyone that like we can count on Bugsy to bring up like some of the memes from the show.
He's just like an encyclopedia.
Yeah, I think he remembers more drops than I do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, play. I said play. Thanks for that. Got a lot of good content.
Is any other good ones?
There's tons of. I haven't played most of Bugsy's.
Right.
Looking for a podcast full of burps and gas, perverted cast, skinny and fat? Then look no further. Horror Movie Talk is accidentally funny, begs you to donate your money, has fake sponsors for dummies, and so much more. New episodes every hump day. They'll tickle your pickle for foreplay. Patreon members have it your way. Vote for a movie every month for their review. HMT!
I mean, and it goes on this way. In the first message he left us, he did mention he said he thinks he smoked too much. And do you suppose it's cigarettes? Do you think he smoked too many cigarettes?
I don't feel it's cigarettes.
What do you?
I'm not sure it's marijuana either.
I mean, I'm sure there's some marijuana in there.
Yeah.
He's a rapper. He's like par for the. You have to.
Yeah.
They don't even ask. They're like, where's your rapper card? And then you just show them a bunch of weed. So that's. I think. Let's see here. Maybe there's another. Oh, here. Maybe.
It's your boy Bugsy, first ever signed rapper to HMT, Horror Movie Talk Records. Let's get it. This is for y'all. Pretentious, Bryce Hanson. Look at them sexy kids, Chris Henson. Masturbate with a crucifix exorcist. Face huggers, chest bursters, alien. Linda Blair peed on Sigourney Weaver. I know it's true because it came from social media. Patrick Bateman, can't understand you. Stab you to death for rotten apple reviews. Opinionated podcaster with a doctorate. Flukology, doctor of philosophy. Bad gastritis, necolostomy. Turn Patreons into human centipede. David Doobie Day, scare no expert. A global fucktard professional sexpert. Astropod's taglines of porno flicks. American Psycho, them guys pretty sick. It's your boy Bugsy, Horror Movie Talk. What's good? Bryce, Dave, B&D. Let's get it. HMT Records, Bugsy, Siegel.
Man, I gotta get a rap horn sound effect for Bugsy.
I like the line, turn Patreon members into human centipedes.
That would be a new tier.
We would we would never do that to
That's
you.
the $100 tier. I mean, you got to pay for medical supplies.
Yeah, that's and then we need, you got
a dungeon.
The drain addict needs to come and unplug you. So thank you guys for calling. Again, that number.
We need to start a new podcast where it's just Bugsy voicemails.
Yeah, I think he's left us enough content to do that.
Right.
We could have like another release on like a Thursday that's just Bugsy calling in and being like, I can't even. Thanks everybody for calling. We sure do appreciate it. If you'd like to give the show a call, you can do so 971-772-0743. Obviously, if a fart can get played on the air, you can. Probably. I don't know. That's really got to hurt for people that didn't make it on. So sorry. Yeah. I'm really sorry. But we do have to end it somewhere. So with that, let's go ahead and you and I will record another podcast called The Afterpod right now, where we talk about what happened over the last week and, where we hid the bodies. And then everybody, thank you so much for listening to our review of Host. Make sure to share this podcast with a friend if you really like them or hate them, depending on how you feel about the show. If you'd like to support the show, become a Patreon member, or make sure to click through the link at the top of our website called the Amazon button.
And please, if you have an Apple product, leave an Apple podcast rating.
That would really help us out. I don't know that we're going to make the cut in September to get on Rotten Tomatoes if we don't get your help. So we do certainly appreciate everyone who has given us a nice rating up until now. And with that, we love you guys and we'll see you next week. Bye. We love you.
Bye.
Hello, this is Jed from Apache Junction. I just want to say, you smell just like the inside of my mama's purse.